Yes, and a very, very good evening to wherever you are watching us from. My name is Moses Echodu, and of course, I'm joined by the one and only Mr. Hudson Mugweri. They call him Uganda's Woj. Uh, a man who needs no introduction. Well, Hudson, good evening.
Good evening to you. How are you doing, Chief?
Okay. Lots of things have been happening, lots of
True.
sports stories. Um, I mean, just tell me what has stood out for you in the last couple of days, really.
I'll talk about the new appointment which has just happened. The Ghana
Yeah,
getting good news in the rugby world. Corps getting a sponsor today. That is good news
yeah,
from KCB. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely good to see Cobs getting a sponsor after a long, long time, ever since Betway left the country.
True.
They have really struggled to get a new sponsor. They have struggled to get new jerseys here and there, and I'm sure we're going to talk about the impact of that deal as well. Um, for those who will join us, please note that we will be doing this for at least at a maximum 30 minutes, but even shorter. We'll definitely be able to do that. Well, Hudson, first of all, welcome back from the local basketball league playoffs. What a way to sum up the season!
It was such an I would say interesting series. I'll talk about interesting series. We never got
Mm,
bored from the word go until the end, from
yeah,
the semifinals, actually quarterfinals, semifinals to the finals. It was interesting. It was an interesting season.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, were you surprised that the other teams didn't give that is Jekyll what you'd call a serious, really run for it?
I would say KU bottled in game 4. They were supposed to start the series. They
Yeah.
bottled. They bottled the series themselves. We'd have gone
Mm,
until like game 7, but they bottled it themselves. So the
yeah.
blame is on them. But it was a good run out. It was a good run. So that's
Okay.
when we saw that we paired with Nyamwenge is a basketball player. Everyone was like, she's a basketball player. Everyone was contented with what she was doing on the floor.
True. True. Well, speaking of, Peruth, Ninette, and then of course Amanilo as well. Quite a performance for
Yeah.
herself there. But at the end of the day, the finals just were too massive. But for me, my pick of the bunch has got to be Becky Longom, that Karimojong lady.
True.
What a player! And she was among the players that were selected to play for the Gazelles, but then got injured ahead of the trainings. And what a miss for the Gazelles in that player, because when you look at the performance she had the entire playoffs, I don't think there was a player that matched her energy and her performance on the day.
Yeah, she had a good performance, I would say that, because she was averaging 15 rebounds per game, which is
Yeah,
something so impressive. Everyone was like, she's
yeah,
doing a good, and I think she would average like two blocks per game, because she would
exactly,
block, she would
exactly.
pick up rebounds as well, and she would score as well.
Yeah,
So to me, she was she did something so incredible. Everyone was like, okay, the future of Uganda is bright. We can see the future of Uganda being bright. And you yourself one time you told me I'll be Howard, our agent.
yes.
You are the agent of Becky, eh?
No, but listen, I I I rarely get moved by a local player, and and
Yeah.
and and then seeing Becky Longom, she has really been able to shake to shake me in ways I didn't think she would. Um, and then of course looking at her ability to consistently play, her ability to play without complaining on the court. is something that I find commendable. I was speaking to someone and he said, listen, for me, if you want to be the best, if you want to beat the best team out there, stop complaining. At the end of the day, there are going to be bad calls on the day. There are going to be things that will not go your way. But what is going to make you different is you're going to be able to learn from those mistakes. You're going to be able to learn from those moments, and at the end of it all, you're going to go and push for it. You're going to push yourself to the line, and I think that's what Becky Longoma has been this entire time. Well, away from that, City Oilers, 9-time champions. My goodness. City
Is
Oilers.
it news? Is it news anymore?
Is anyone going to stop them?
Yeah, they can be stopped. It's a matter of getting a team which is organized like them. Discipline is key.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Mm.
And we start with the management. Discipline of the management
Yeah.
is key. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yes,
mean,
you can
we're
you can
speaking
have a
to.
good sponsor.
Yeah, go on, go
You
on.
can have a good sponsor who's giving you money, who's doing everything, but how is the discipline of the management? How is the discipline of the players? What are they doing off court? Where are they? What a lot of things. And that's what Oilers does. You
Yeah.
know,
Well,
that's
for
why
City
they're still
Oilers,
up there.
yeah. I mean, I was speaking to Albert recently, and he said, "Listen, everyone is going to come and say City Oil is throwing money at the players. Everyone is going to say City Oil has better money." But you see, he said, "Listen, UCU runs a scholarship program. None of those students is on a program that is less than 3 million. That's a lot of money being put in you by the team."
Yeah.
Um, and of course all these treatments, feeding and things like that, that's a lot of money that the team is putting into you. The question is the organization. Are you drinking on the night of the game? you know are you
Yeah.
feeding yourself well? Are you making sure that you actually train morning and evening and preparing yourself for the game? I think that is where the difference is between City Oil and of course, um, that is the rest of the teams. And I think that if you are able to just about, say, listen, this is who we are. We want to be better than City Oil. We're going to do A, B, C, D, and we're going to beat them this season. And it is possible. It's not that City Oil
Remember,
has.
I remember I was watching the game of KCA versus NEC. Then a
Yeah,
fan came and told me, please talk to your basketball players. How come I'm always meeting them at Thrones, at Chadondo? Let them limit that partying. You know, you don't want to see them every day, like every day, every weekend. You get to know this one is at Chadondo, is at Thrones, is Decent. Let them limit that partying. How do you brand yourself as a basketball as a player? I'm like, talk about it.
yeah,
They've said it and over, but these guys want to listen.
yeah,
Branding yourself is key. The brand you are is key. That's why some players are still national team because of the way they brand themselves. Everyone knows these are disciplined players. They're so calm. After game, he's going back home. You never
yeah.
meet him anywhere else apart from the court.
I could say I've not met I've not met that is a City Oilers player, in a bar. I will tell you that. For all the times I've been to the bar, I've never met a City Oilers player at the bar. But I can tell you the players that I've found at the bar quite so open. There's one of the viewers, Jay says, "Are you going to Bandali Rise when you have a game tomorrow?" Well, Jay, that's a question that we have with you. And he goes on to say, "Guys think they are James Harden hitting class strip clubs before the game." Well, you can see,
Uh,
there's a whole lot of situations. And I think we'll need to get a day where we'll just, perhaps invite Albert in here and maybe one of the players, talk just to have a conversation with us about, branding and discipline, because that's a
True.
that's a
You
very,
know,
very.
it's happened before game six. Actually, after
Yeah.
game six, when Oilers won the game, I was having a
Mm,
conversation with this young man, Fayed Bale.
Yeah.
There's something he told me, and up now I still think about it. I'm like, no, this kid is serious. He said he spent 2 days without grabbing his phone. Like the phone
Yeah.
was off completely. His focus was one
Yeah.
thing: I want to make sure this series is done and I'm a champion.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's like I did that. What next? I've won a championship. I can now go back to my phone, do whatever I want to do with my phone, as long as I was focusing on the game. Just go work out, come back home, rest, focusing on the game.
The
Man, I'm like,
discipline,
wow,
the discipline,
what
individual
what a play.
discipline, individual.
And
Yeah.
before playoffs, people were asking, where is Michael Good of
Yes.
Cito Oil? Due
Yes.
to his indiscipline, he was chased from the team.
Oh wow.
That is Oilers for
Wow.
you. Yeah. This is something they kept low, but I was like, okay. Someone told me from the team was chased. I'm like, okay. Don't want to talk about it until the series is done, but it was chased from the team due to his indiscipline. That is Oilers for
No, I
you.
mean, yeah, I mean, as an institution, you have got to really have discipline as a key ingredient if you're going to succeed. And you can see that Mandela is transferring that kind of management to even AC Villa. You know, you've got to be very disciplined. You've got to be grounded. You've got to train at the time when you're supposed to train the time when you're supposed to be having lunch. You're supposed to be having lunch and not doing other things. So truly, I mean, we could talk about this the entire day, but because of time, I want us to cross over to Kigali in Rwanda, where the JK Lady Dolphins are into the semi-finals of the Africa Women's Basketball League qualifiers. They just beat up on the APR of Rwanda, which, by the way, was stacked with a lot of national team players for Rwanda
From
in
Rwanda.
that APL set.
Yeah.
Yes, and Jekyll goes and puts up a very fantastic performance. They beat APR 75-58. Quite a
58.
performance. Of course, a poor performance by Jekyll in the fourth quarter. Absolutely abysmal performance. They scored about what 7 points in the entire fourth quarter, but the
For
three
them,
quarters they played.
they finished
Yeah.
the game in the third quarter. Actually, I would say they finished the game in the second quarter.
Yes. Yes,
But
because I
I'll
wanted to go through the,
giving credit to Brenda Ekonwa, 22 points, six
yeah,
rebounds, and one assist. Yeah,
yeah,
she's our scorer. We know I think she's
yes,
scorer. She'll give you the points you need anytime, any day.
yeah, and
So
quite some big buckets from Rita Manishiba as well.
true.
Well, Hudson, when you look at this team, what would you say you have picked out from them entirely?
I would say yesterday they bottled their game against Reg. That
Mm,
was a sure win. First and
yeah,
foremost, Shakira now we are missing the free throws, missing 2 free throws. Then on top of
yeah,
that, the turnover we saw from Flavia Okecho in the last less than 8 seconds. Everyone was like, "What is this?" They bottled, but they were like, "Do you know what? Let's go back. Let's sit down, talk about it." I think they watched the video. They're like, "You know what? During the APR game, let's just go strong. Let's seal it up." And they've had a good game today because this is qualified the quarterfinals. They're like, okay, yesterday made a mistake. Today, let's play basketball. They delivered, but it has been
yeah.
a
That
good
that
run. The addition
yes,
of Shakira Namvobia, Martha Soigi,
um,
and who else? There are three
yeah,
players.
yes.
It
Mathia
was a good.
Saigi and Miriam Manilo.
Yeah. And Amanio. Mary, yeah, it was a good addition because they proved they can play basketball from the local league.
Yes,
Math has been a national team, she's experienced. And in such games, you need some that kind of player who is rough and who is experienced. Martha is a rough player. We know she's a rough player. She can hit you properly, be like, what? Yeah. So that addition was a good one for the Jekyll, and see what they did. They're now in the semifinals, and I expect the finals to be Jekyll versus Kepi. If they don't meet at the semis, that's what I expect them to be.
And of course KP of Kenya proving to be the strongest team in the tournament thus far. They've virtually beaten everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Quite a game they had against the JKL Lady
They haven't
Dolphins.
lost in a game.
Yeah.
Mm.
But where do you think that JKL can improve, especially as we get into the semi-final stages?
Let them reduce on the turnovers
Mm.
because, and also they need to take advantage of the free throws. They're so important. Those free throws are important
Yeah,
because if you miss
I think
like,
they've really struggled with this free throws. Yeah,
yeah, they've struggled because I was watching today's game. I was watching also Opakelo missing some free throws. I'm like, man, we need these points. They're important, you know. But all in all, they just need to improve on their defense as well because at times they give out free baskets. I'm like, no, why? What is this one? How come he's not doing this? All in all, every day there's a big improvement in the team. So when they go in the
yeah,
semis, they're going to come strong and they'll play good basketball. I trust them. I trust them. I trust the process that they're going through. They've got a good coach who knows who masters the game so well. Reads the game so well is like actually two experienced coaches who have played the game before and who have won championship before
yeah.
as players and coaches, so they know what to do. So I expect a good run from them from the semifinals moving forward.
All right. Well, the JKL Lady Dolphins will be waiting to see who they take on in the quarterfinal, in the semi-finals of the Africa Women's Basketball League qualifiers. Quickly, as time continues to approach us, FUFA has appointed a new head coach in Paul Put. Is called Paul Joseph Put. But the interesting bit is that it's not the stories about him being the new coach that are making rounds, but what is making rounds is the fact that this is a man who was given a 3-year ban for match fixing by the Belgian Federation. He was he has been how do I put it? He has been completely dismissed from Algeria. He's not wanted near anywhere near football in Gabon. In 2018-2019 year, he had been appointed the head coach of Kenya, but then he was fired within just 1 year into management. But interestingly, he is also the same man that took Burkina Faso to
To the
that is
finals.
to the finals in that is should what 2013. So quite a CV that he has there. He's a journeyed man on the continent, really. What do you make of his appointment?
As you said, we should give him time. He said we should
Mm,
give him time. He said he's going to give us good entertaining football. Let's
mm.
watch the space. Though he's the one man who doesn't spend more than 2 years in business. When you look at his CV, he hasn't spent like more than 2 years in a team. He's just moving around. But he has the experience of African football. So we give him time. We
Mm.
see what he will deliver. Because if FIFA has trusted him to give him the mantle of like, be our coach. And information has it that guess what? Who's the assistant?
Yeah. Well,
There is no,
the assistant apparently is going to come with his back staff, but
no.
you'll be given some
I'm,
local support as well.
I'm getting information from Ian Mutenda. He's telling me assistant is Sam Simba. And rumors added that Sam Simba has already gone to KCCA. But
KCCA, yes,
yeah, but I'm just reading this that Simba Crane's assistant from Ian Mutenda.
yes. So,
So Simba might be at the national team as assistant. Yeah.
well, our one of our viewers, Jay says,
Yeah.
thugs have to employ fellow thugs. That is the Ugandan way. Congrats, Pol Pot. Well, what a way to put it. What a very good, apt way to put it. Well, we were to see. Of course, you don't expect any changes now to happen, but it is what it is. He's been offered a 3-year contract. He starts his campaign in about a week's time because he has to go to Morocco, where Uganda is meant to play against Somalia, and that is Guinea. in those World Cup qualifiers. You, of course, Uganda still having to play away from home as a Nambole is still waiting to be completed. I don't know if by the time Nambole is completed, Uganda will still have fans watching football. But whatever the case may be, uh, his campaign starts this month, and he has a very, very short window. One, to select players, but also to make sure that he has players ready to go and pick a result down in Morocco.
True, true. Wait
Yeah.
for what it gives us. The team is going to summon. Which player is going to use? Are they going to play style of football? Let's wait for all that. But all in all, wish him all the best. We hope to qualify for AFCON for World Cup as the campaign is on.
That is, of course, what is happening in the world of football. But quickly, Hudson, as we sum up this evening, rugby, lots and lots of action in the rugby world. But we'll start with the big news: 95 million deal for Cobs with the KCB Bank. They now become the KCB Bank Cobs. What a deal for Cobs. Like we said at the beginning of the show, this is a team that has not had a sponsor since 2020, ever since Betway left the country. This is a team that has struggled to have a jersey, but today they were unveiled with some really cool jackets, those baseball-like jackets, and I was wondering to myself, can I get one? You get what I mean?
Mhm. You know, you know, you
you
know.
know,
I'll give credit to the management of Corps. That is the committee of
yeah,
Corps because they've been nothing internal fights. The Ethans has been fighting. The Ethans team, they're like the new chairman wants to sell off the club. He wants to do blah blah blah. Said the constitution. And for him was like, let me stay focused. What next? It comes up with a good sponsor and a good deal. That is KCB, 95 million pound, 95 million for Cobs, which has been struggling financially, seen them struggling financially. But I'll give credit also to the players who have been in the team. That like, even if you're struggling, I'm still with Cobs, the Ian Manyanis, the Chimonos. They're like, you know what? We're still with the team. Let's do this. That's
yeah.
a big plus. It's a big addition. We don't see such things in basketball. Once the club is broke, all the players are leaving the club.
Are
Because
living. Yeah,
I would think with the few power players who would stay in the club, like Leicester with power, it's our team. But other clubs, guys, be like, you know what, I'm out of here. But Cobbs has done something so incredible. I would give credit to the management and also the players who have who have been around in the struggles, but now here they are. It's now a well-organized team. Actually, we're starting with Uganda Cup, right?
yes. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
the sponsorship
Which
starts with
which
the
is in
Uganda
November.
Cup.
Yeah,
Mm,
which is in November. So
yes,
let's see what they have for us. We're going to have some interesting now rugby. Cobs, Heathens, and Pirates. Interesting one. Interesting one. Though not forgetting Buffaloes
well,
as well than Hippos. Though in the
yeah.
Uganda Cup, I expected the rugby union to add in the Tororo crest, what they gave us in the sevens. Gave us in the sevens. That's why they have to come back in the Uganda Cup. I'm like,
uh,
you know what? Why didn't they add them in the Uganda Cup? They
you
gave
love
teams a good
chaos.
run for their money. Yeah.
You love chaos. You love chaos. Of course, we'll have a chance to talk about the Uganda Cup more in detail next week. But quickly,
Mm.
Hudson, as we are being chased by time, there is a World Cup final coming up between Nigeria and
Wow, network.
Hudson,
Yeah, are you in Israel or Uganda?
you can see the darkness that I'm experiencing. It seems um, Israel has won. Israel has won. Israel has won. But Hudson, before, of course, I went to, for that first, I would say, for that very first break, um, I should say that one, we're talking about Uganda versus Kenya. Um, what did you make of it? What do you make of that encounter?
With what I saw yesterday, we are going to have an interesting game on Sunday.
Have you switched off lights in your house?
My lights are on very well.
I can't see you even.
Really? We are going to have an interesting game on Sunday at KPA. If people don't know where the game is going to be, it's at KPA. That's in Boyogere.
Yeah.
On Sunday, not Saturday. They have to give room for Kenya to rest after them thumping Zambia yesterday at Chadondo.
Mm.
But we expect our players are in good shape. Haven't had any injury issues from Uganda,
Yeah.
so I expect a good game from both teams. Though I Kenya is a team I fear so much compared
Yeah.
to another team in this Victoria Cup.
Yeah.
So we expect a good battle.
Right. Of course, Uganda in the first game against Zambia, Uganda beating Zambia by 30 to 8,
18.
and then Kenya
Yeah.
beating Zambia 35 to that is 12. 34 to 12. Do you think there's an opportunity where Uganda could pick up a win? Because for me, when I looked at the Kenyan side, one, they were not taking advantage of the spaces that they were getting. They kept running into spaces for collision, and that is where Zambians were also taking advantage of trying to contain them. Uganda, I would think, would need to be able to be very, very proactive in terms of one, ensuring that they take advantage of open spaces, but also
Yeah.
try to make sure that they keep the Kenyans really, really at bay.
Yeah. That that is a good analysis. And then on top of that, our kicker has to be so perfect compared to what he
Wow.
did last. In that we need those.
Yeah, go on, Edson.
I was saying our kick has to be so perfect, like so perfect, like how South
Yeah.
Africa did in the finals. They got a good kicker who was perfect, whereby every penalty or something like conversion would go in. So Magoma
Oh my goodness. Hudson, your internet seems has also gotten this my sickness. Wow, wow, wow.
network is so bad.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, Hudson, we have been at this for over 30 minutes. I think what we will do is we'll leave it at this for today. And
No, there's
ideally,
something I'm
just,
missing out.
yes,
Uh Oilers are preparing themselves for Elite 16 of BAL,
yes.
BAL, yeah. Of course, they have to go. Their tournament is from 14th to 19th of November. That's in
Mhm.
2 weeks' time. That actually
That's
next week,
next weekend. Yes.
traveling next week. So it will be
Mm.
in Johannesburg. Right now, the Western Division is playing their Elite 16 in Yaoundé.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah. So let's
where
basketball is still
Amisi
on. No
and
one is saying that
Balungu
done in
are.
basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we're still
All right.
busy. Mm.
We're still busy indeed. So you'll not be missing any action from us. Every Thursday, we will be here having a conversation about basketball and all the other sporting stories that will be happening. Of course, just to mention that the Uganda Cricket Association um, 15 over league will also be starting this week. So you should be expecting all that action at the Lugogo Cricket Oval. Of course, until maybe the 17th, when uh, the Hillsong will be taking over at the Cricket Oval. But otherwise, cricket is back. The Uganda Victoria Pals, that is the Ugandan national women's cricket team, will also be in action very soon as they start preparations for that is their World Cup. The team has been in camp since September, and Tugume, the coach who has been with them, believes that they are very, very ready for the upcoming task. Of course, we will have Dennis Musali with us soon to take us through on what preparations that they are having and how the fans can be able to support the team. But otherwise, my name is Mose Chodu, joined by Hudson Mugweri, and we're saying thank you so much. Have a good night. Until next Thursday. Bye bye.